Time now, 5 a.m. on this Monday morning. We have a holiday in our sights, and at least it's not going to be triple digits. We've got Sharifa joining us here from Matt Pellman this morning.
Yes, thankful for that. I mean, but like Karen said, she kind of prepared us for this. So.
I did, and you know what? We've got a great holiday weekend coming up. The next couple of days, not so much. So let's take a look outside right now, and you can kind of see beautiful sky, but you know what they say, red sky warning, sailors take warning, and that's because we do have some storms coming, brewing out here, especially well south of the area. If you're in Millville, Cumberland County, if you're in parts of Atlantic County, you're under a flash flood warning until 7:30 this morning. And here's why. You can see that cluster of storms. We've got a couple of showers near the city. Even in parts of northern Gloucester and Camden County, you've got a thunderstorm rolling through. But it's this cluster that's moving through Cumberland and Atlantic counties right now, pushing offshore, that's producing some really heavy rainfall. We've got a lot of high humidity there, and these storms are sparking some good downpours through the area. And we could see about 133 lightning strikes happening right now if you're in this area of Cumberland County and Atlantic County. So in addition to that heavy rain, you've got a lot of lightning happening out there. And that was a look at the hail that came through the region as well. So some of these storms containing some hail. Satellite and radar showing there's not a lot behind this, but there's a front that's just kind of draped to our south that's stalled there. So we're going to see a few of those storms trigger. So although those are pushing out, it's not that they're going to last through the day, but we do get a few more popping up later this afternoon and evening. Currently 78 degrees. It's warm and muggy. It's a little more comfortable north of the city than it is south of the city this morning. At 9 o'clock, still mostly cloudy skies with those storms pushing offshore. By 1 o'clock, some peaks of sun. It's warm and sticky and 89. 89 at 5 o'clock, but you get a few scattered storms again through the area. So it's a little unstable out there today, Sharifa.
Yeah, all depends where you are, especially right now out in Bucks County is all clear, and we get to see that beautiful sunrise as we're traveling. Northbound lanes, we're watching some construction. You may see it off this off-ramp here. This is just south of PA 132, but all things are moving well. Otherwise, we know 95, we typically have a lot of overnight construction. All things seem to be clear as of 5 a.m. Also monitoring Route 42 freeway. We have a lot going on over in Jersey early this morning. Everything is clear on 42. We have a little bit of building volume early this morning, but otherwise things are looking good. As you can see from our travel time from the AC Expressway to 295, only 7 minutes, 9 minutes if you're traveling northbound from Route 322 to Route 42. But otherwise, we are still watching this accident that we had over here, New Jersey Turnpike southbound, right at US 322. Again, it hasn't been causing much of an issue today. 77 miles per hour, how cars are getting by there. So it's off to the side. We're moving pretty good, even though that is there. They're working to get it cleared up. Over in Newcastle, we have a complete closure on Snug Mill Road between St. Moritz Drive and Kinnick Pike. If you're over in this direction, you'll want to take Route 1. Matt?
Got it, Sharifa. Thanks.
That means you did a good job.
They were wonderful. We all raised a lot of money for the American Legion. They do so much for veterans. I am a terrible bartender, but I hope I raised money. I could chat.
Look at how pleasant you were, chatting and doing what you were doing.
First of all, they let me be in charge of the cash register. I was like, okay, wait, you owe this, you owe. There was a lot happening there.
You're like square up at the end.
Yes, that's right. Honor system. Just give me what you think you owe. But somehow we all made money out of that, the American Legion, which was great. Good morning, everybody. Let's hit the coffee shop out there today. And it's warm, it's muggy, and we've got some storms brewing. It's not everywhere, but we're dealing with these storms, especially south of the city this morning, where you've got some heavy rain through parts of Cumberland County and Atlantic County. Other than that, we're seeing clouds and some sunshine. It's muggy. Temperatures already in the upper 70s. At 8 o'clock, it's 80 degrees. At 9 o'clock, it's 81. Make it an iced coffee, maybe, not the hot coffee out there today. Today's forecasted high, 90 degrees. Yesterday was 93. We've been in this heat. Typically, we'd see a high of 87 degrees. We're not far off of average. It's not record-breaking out there. It's just warm. It's sticky. We've got a couple of storms that'll brew later this afternoon as well. And again, they'll be kind of hit or miss. Not everybody's going to see them. It's not one line of storms. That line of storms comes down tomorrow. It brings some downpours and some gusty winds with it as well. So we're going to have to be very mindful of that. Temperatures near 90 degrees over the next couple days. I think the high will depend on if your town is one that got that thunderstorm or not. That'll be rain cooled. Wednesday, partly sunny, less humid. It starts to get a lot better. We'll talk about that in that 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. We've got the 4th of July in our 7 days, so we've got a lot to go over coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Indeed. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, it's got to be careful with those stuntmen and women really working. working it, right? Good morning, everybody. Let's take a look at Storm Tracker 6 Live. We do have a flash flood warning until 7:30 this morning for this cluster of storms that is already pushing off the coast. So it's not long-lived, but yet even behind that, you're going to have a lot of water on the roads. Now, right now, if you're in Norristown, if you're in Abington, you've got a downpour, a shower happening. I'm not seeing lightning strikes there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that develop over the next hour. If you're in Gloucester County here, in Gloucester Township, in Washington Township out here, in Waterford Township, you've got kind of a dying thunderstorm here in Williamstown, a few more lightning strikes. And this area is where we've got the warning for the really heavy rain. It looks like it's lost just a little bit of intensity as it pushes towards Atlantic City right now and then offshore. The trouble is we've got a front that's kind of stalled here. It's going to rise today as a warm front, come through tomorrow as a cold front. So we're going to stay unstable the next 2 days. So as you're planning your day ahead, it's some sunshine mixing with the clouds. You have a couple of storms around. We've got a few this morning. We'll get a few this afternoon and evening. But it's not one line of storms, so you just have to watch for it here or there. So it's a little active this morning, especially in South Jersey, but by 8 o'clock, I think it's mostly dry and 80 degrees. Even at lunchtime, I think you're pretty dry. It's 88, but it feels really humid out there with those dew points just way up there. At 2 o'clock, it's 90 degrees. You've got a few storms that'll pop here or there through the afternoon and evening, and even into tonight. So let me show you this on Future Tracker. And you get this idea at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's not everywhere. It's not one line of storms, but any one could be pretty gusty with heavy downpours or strong wind and hail. Here's a look at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Yet a couple more, even 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 1 or 2 more. So they're here or there through the area. For the Phillies today at the ballpark, 86 degrees. Watch for a storm or two around. It's not a sure thing, but they'll be popping through the area. In the 9th inning, it's 81 degrees. Maybe a scattered storm then too. Tomorrow, an even better chance because this is when that cold front kind of pushes through. So we get especially some late day and evening storms that could produce strong winds and hail. And in fact, the Storm Prediction Center says tomorrow you've got a little better chance. The area of yellow is a 2 out of 5. So we could see some scattered storms in our area tomorrow. Here's your exclusive Accuweather 7-day forecast. It's really humid today. It feels like it's nearly 100 degrees this afternoon, but we get a couple of pop-up storms around that could be gusty. Now tomorrow we have an Accuweather alert because of a better chance for some storms through the area. A high near 90 degrees. The high kind of depends on which community these storms hit first, but near 90 degrees, watch for those gusty storms. Wednesday, partly sunny, less humid behind that front and 88. Thursday, sunny, nothing more than a stray storm in 89. Friday's really nice for the 4th, 86 degrees, good amount of sunshine. The weekend's looking great. Saturday, mostly sunny, 90. Sunday, hot and humid, 92 degrees. So we really heat up for the 4th of July weekend, but you know, you expect that 4th of July, I think, Sharifa.
Right, that's one time where we will accept it. We
Yes.
need it there. That's what we like, especially if you're headed out to the shore. But if you're heading out this morning, we have some updates to share with you over in Belmar. We had some police activity that was happening on the turnpike northbound between Route 168 and the Walt Whitman. That's all cleared now, so we're all good to go over there. We also had a crash that was reported on the turnpike as well, the southbound lanes, US 322 exit 2. That's all cleared. They've gotten that out of the way. No issues over in that direction. What we are monitoring is what I believe is a couple cars are involved. The crash here right on the Vine Street Expressway on the westbound side of things. It looks like a tow truck is there. Their cars are still moving by, but one lane is blocked right now as you're moving up towards the Schuylkill Expressway. That is still there, so you want to watch out for that. But it's quite a few police cars and stuff there that will alert you. You'll be able to see that as you're driving up towards that. Over in Newcastle, we're still monitoring this crash. It's a complete shutdown here on Snuggs Mill Road between St. Moritz Drive and Kennett Pike. I've been telling you all morning, if you're over in that direction and this is your commute, the way you take 52 is also what it's called, you'll want to reroute all the way Route 1. You'll have to go all the way around, but you'll avoid that sitting in traffic if you're that direction, because again, it's a complete closure if you're over there in Newcastle. Aliana.
All right, Sharifa, thank you.